many of us have been feeling, which is that we really think God is about to move in a very renewing way. I think he's really going to awaken this movement of the YMCA again. And when God moves in ways that only God can do, he's often looking for certain heart conditions that are the kind of heart that God renews. And so last night we looked at the book of Acts, that there were a few heart conditions that are present that we saw in the greatest renewal that ever was, the book of Acts. And we pointed to Acts 17, this first one, where there was an accusation made. And in this accusation is this incredible picture of a heart attitude. They were in the city of Thessalonica. They dragged these believers to the middle. There was this massive uproar, riot. And basically the authorities were like, what do these guys do? And here was the accusation. These men who have turned the world upside down are here. And they are saying that there's another king named Jesus. So they had this heart to say, we have a heart of kingship. And he's going to be our only king. We surrender all. We are totally all in. He's our king, no matter what it takes, no matter who's offended. And it was flipping the world upside down. So we said, let's have that kind of heart, a heart of kingship. Secondly, we looked in Acts 20. Paul was on the beach with the Ephesian elders. And he said, you know how I lived among you with all humility. And he says a few other things. And he says, however, I did not shrink back. So he was both humble, which all throughout history, every revival throughout history, a characteristic is always humility. And Paul was humble. And yet, paradoxically, he had this incredible boldness. He's like, I did not shrink from anything. I was humble, but I was bold. Okay, and then finally, in Acts 26, Paul had been... he was on trial for his life, and this time he was before King Agrippa. And he made this very profound statement. He kind of recapped his life a little bit, and then he said, King Agrippa, you need to know that I was faithful to the vision of heaven. I was faithful basically to do exactly what God called me to do. So I had a heart of faithfulness. Basically, God, whatever you want me to do, I will faithfully do it. And so we looked at a guy named Luther Wishart, who's part of the YMCA, first YMCA full-time employee. And one time he got his face basically on the ground at the Haystack Movement and said, Lord, do it again, and I'm willing to do anything, anytime, anywhere for Jesus. I think he had that heart to basically say, Jesus is my king. I'll be humble, but I'll be bold. And also, I will do exactly what you tell me to do. I'll be faithful. So we are calling this movement to do it again.
Amen. Amen.